And welcome back to The Nose Plays Endless Space 2, Part 3 of our Hissho Return series. And we had a lot going on at the end of the last video. Um, I made some mistakes, a few interesting ones. Um, this is interesting, actually. I haven't taken a moment to admire how much work we've gotten done on the map as of late, but quite a bit actually. So one of the things that happened is we kind of went down the wrong lane. I intended to go up to the northern region, I guess you could call it, and instead sent my fleet accidentally down this very long lane, which would have taken an incredible amount of time to come back the other way. So we just decided to pivot and start a war with the Lumeris. At the moment, I'm actually working on these pirates, but I may give up the pirates for the Lumeris first. I have a couple of other things going on. I have a massive amount of key, so much so that if I don't start spending it, we're going to start losing bonus key to overflow. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm trying to rush a colony ship down to Igaro and start our second colony. In doing that, I believe there was a quest, and I can't remember if there was a timer for this quest. It does not appear that there is. So I don't like have 30 turns to get this completed or something like that. This was the one that I had 30 turns for. This is a free hero if we can get a unique planet in the next 14 turns. There's really only one way that that could possibly happen, and that would be if we immediately brought our fleet down and took over Procyon, because there is a unique planet here in Genis, but it is 11 population. The odds that we would be able to take that over in 14 turns is pretty slim. I just don't know if it's worth pivoting to that, even for a hero. I do think as soon as we pick up these big bada booms, it might be worth pivoting to taking out these two systems rather quickly. We should be able to do that. And then this one we can get in our leisure. We may also want to send a ship over here to prevent this from happening. So we might be able to bottle them up rather quickly. I also have another fleet moving to the north to deal with this problem. This has been ongoing for a while now and is I believe it's shutting down production. Yeah. So one of the things that blockading a system does, it shuts down the production of any luxury resource or strategic resources. So we're actually not collecting any of those materials while the blockade is in effect. Which is slightly unfortunate, but not the end of the world, and we'll take care of it. That ship can't survive our two-ship, and we've got more ships on the way, so... I believe I had everything done this turn that I needed. The only other thing that I could do...
This contact is unwelcome. For what reason do you interrupt our crusade?
...is demand that they leave our system.
I shall defend the faith, whatever that requires.
Okay. So that actually did get their fleet out of my territory. I could have done that much earlier if I had thought about it. Because they've been sitting on that for some time with the blockade. Alright, so I think we're ready to go ahead and end the turn and get into this game. We'll see how much time I can spend tonight. Probably definitely an hour. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have a couple of options here. This is a Hissho character? Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Okay, yeah, his back is to us. Huh. I think I want the religious one in case we decide to potentially go with a religious character again. Also, the counselor ship is actually pretty solid. Alright, let's get this. Pirate attack, we'll just deal with that. Okay, colony ship. Get over there, and we'll spend a bunch of key rather quickly. Got some points. Fleet damage on ships. Minus dust cost. That's actually not bad. If you're going for a large fleet. Let's just go with the fleet damage, and we will make this a fleet commander. I will need to go to here. What can we do with her ship? Okay, so I like this counselor ship quite a bit because there's a lot of support modules, so you get a lot more flexibility in some of the specialty things you can add to their ship. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of weapon slots, and so I think I'm just going to put bullet weapons since we're not going to have a lot of those on our normal ships, and that will help cut down missile attacks. And then in terms of the rest of these, let's go with we could go with like 2 sets of engines. Defensive modules, we have 2, so we'll just go 1 of each. And then I have 2 more modules here, and I could go for the kinetic enhancer, which enhances my bullet weapon damage. I could also go for the siege modules, which are actually really helpful. Or I could go for a probe. I think we'll go for a siege module. And then we'll put her in charge of this fleet once it gets finished, which is only going to take 3 turns. That makes me think we don't need to do much else. All right. I should be able to merge these now. We will retreat from that.
Be content.
Okay. We could
Speak.
tell the
Let us
Vaulters
see if
to
we can
halt their
trust your
attacks. Let's see what they do.
I trust you no more than I would trust a clan merchant selling Kasai.
Okay, so they're going to stop attacking us for a little while. So this ship here will be okay, I think. What else do we have over here to... Might be time to maybe consider bringing this guy back. Yeah. Let's see if we can get him back. If we can get him back, we can retrofit him and see if we can do something else with him. Unassigned, yes. I don't have anywhere to assign her right now, so that's perfectly okay. Alright, what are we pulling down now? 58. That's going to take quite a few turns. I think what we really want to do is get over here. We'll deal with the pirates later. Build 3 optics research labs or stasis singularity improvements. New population collection bonus, that's good. Raptors built. That's good. Alright, so we finally got this. We should be able to colonize that colony ship now. And efficient shielding is going to be important. So we'll keep that in the queue. One more turn and we'll make it to that location. And since this ship is available, we can deploy it and attach our hero. Not bad, not bad. So this ship no longer has anything else to scout until we hit another constellation with one of our probes, which we have not done yet. So let's see if we can get him back to here as well. How many turns to get here? 8 to get there, or 9 to get there. We'll send him there, I suppose. Alright, we should be running this law while we're building ships. How many ships do I have left? Okay, we can get those 2 in a single turn. What else could we build? Maybe get another one of these? Hold on. I've got 1 raptor. 2, 3. Yeah, we need a peregrine and another big bada boom at a minimum for now. Okay, what do we got here? Projectile weapons and projectile defenses, mostly guns. These are all energy weapons, so we're going to want to engage in the closest range possible, probably. Let's try this. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but we did a lot of damage to that fleet. The pirates are getting a little bit stronger now. This fleet was ill-equipped to deal with missiles, which is why they lost.
Careful, or things are going...
This ship got attacked by pirates as well. that was pointless. I shouldn't have done that. 50% of the galaxy explored. Mining probes are gone. We're not using them anymore anyways, so that's fine. The ship's almost gone. Alright, we're going to need to build a couple more raptors to replace the ones we just lost.
Careful. Or
This guy can colonize here. And 75 is a little too much to give up, but we're going to spend a lot of this because we're going to be able to get a lot of it back rather quickly. So as soon as we take care of a couple of things here, we're going to blockade that system. We're going to get some probe research done. Just send that out that way. And remember, there's no need to hold on to these because they recover every single turn. So anywhere where there's like empty space that I can get a good view of something, I should probably send a probe. Okay. We will search. Sometimes there's a decent reward for this.
careful.
Okay, so all we can do right now is blockade this system. I'm going to have to wait till next turn to recover that probe. But because we are the militarists, we can
And
now
we thought we had learned to trust each other.
declare war
Speak.
for free. And now we can attack their ship in their system, which we should do. This will be a relevant fight. They'll probably retreat, which they did. And we'll just have to wait a turn to get that quest. Our invasion force is quite large, but there's no need to invade just yet. We're going to deplete their system by 58, so in 4 turns we can have the system completely depleted of its main ground defenses, which will make it a lot easier to take it over. So we'll wait the 4 turns for that, and then we'll move on to one of the next ones. Alright, so that's at 75. I don't necessarily need to rush a ship up here any longer, which is good. Grabbing that might be worthwhile. And one of the most important things that we can now build is a second Behemoth. So if I go to here, we can see that we are able to have 3 systems before we start to have penalties. And those penalties come from... Where's it at? Bound. Here it is. It took me a while to even see this, so I didn't realize that this was a thing the very first time I played the Hissho and expanded far too rapidly and then wondered why my economy was garbage. It's a minus 5% penalty per system above the overcolonization threshold. and you have a very small threshold with the Hissho. Now there are a couple of ways around that to still keep your economy good, because otherwise if you were only limited to such a small number of systems, you definitely would just not be able to keep up economically with any of the other empires. But you can, and hopefully we'll get to a point in the game where I can demonstrate that. Now, being 1 or 2 systems above the threshold is not bad. So we could probably go to 5 systems pretty safely and not feel too much pressure. It will be a 10% penalty. So that's going to be about 30 industry, 5 food, 20 dust, and 100 or 110 to 12 science. So it's significant, but it's not crippling. If you had too many of that, the penalties are quite significant. Minus 25% is not unheard of if you expand too rapidly, which is what we could easily do if we're not careful when going through a war. And so I'll show you some ways that we can get around that. But for now, we just need to be ready. Alright, so the last technology I have is this one, which is going to give us access to military ships. It's going to enhance our Behemoth, and it's going to unlock this next tier, which gives us applied cryogenics and split-second ablatives, which both are medium-class hull ship designs, which we really, really benefit from. In addition to that, there are some other military techs that would be nice, but one of the things that we really need to deal with is our home system is getting quite full due to all the food that we're producing there, and we need to get on those other 2 planet types, which were the ice and the lava worlds. So in order to get ice worlds quickly, I kind of need to run something like that. And in order to get lava worlds quickly, I kind of need to run something like that. Which is going to take up a lot of our science, but I think we're going to be good for a little while because we've got a lot of ships that we can build. And we're going to need to build a military behemoth, which is going to be a lot of fun to play around with. So that's going to be the next thing that we get. In fact, I'm halfway considering rushing it ahead of some of these other ships. But I think we'll just run with these ships for now. Which means I probably could have put her in charge of that fleet, or in charge of that system. I wasn't thinking she was going to be taking that long to get her fleet, but because we lost the 2 to this pirate area, it's taken longer than I anticipated. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn and continue. Okay, we can see we're going to need a couple more turns to get that under control. This gave us 5, so now we're like maxed out again. I could get increased movement on ships. Because of our probes, we have vision of their fleet. So we can see they're on their 6th ship design, but it's pretty pathetic. So I'm not too worried about it. Efficient shielding in 1 turn. And that begs the question. I don't necessarily need another Raptor or a big bada boom, because we can build military class ships starting next turn. So let's go ahead and consider doing that. We also have this, which actually is a fantastic way to spend some of our excess key. We have this massive pool of it. I was going to spend a bunch of it down here, but this hasn't really dropped much yet. So I think we're going to go ahead and spend some of it here. Let's go like this, get that raptor done, get that done. We'll start working on that. The peregrine can come out and get merged with this fleet. I like that plan so far. All right. Also, got a second law slot. Now would be maybe a good time to run Hatched at Home again. Go ahead and activate it, and you're going to notice that Hatched at Home is now costing us 2 key per turn. That's going to quickly drop to 1, because in 1 turn we're going to bump this to Ancestral Reverence, which we'll talk about when it happens. And that actually +6 per temperate world. There is 1 temperate world in the system, but we don't have it colonized yet. Okay. So once Ancestral Reverence gets activated, we'll talk about how its effect works a little bit. But the main thing that it's going to do for our Hatched at Home law is each system that's running it does not count towards this negative penalty. So it's -1 key per system that is not running Ancestral Reverence. Okay, we've got 12 of 14. That raptor's been completed. So we can deploy it and merge it with the fleet. That's looking good. And that was our extra law slot, so alright. We'll need to design some ships in a moment. One thing that I do want to look at is our economic behemoth. So if I go to the economic behemoth and I edit it, so that's 39 for slugs. Oh, okay. 45 for health and 850 shield. Yeah, so this is a 2x slot. Interesting. Let's look at the mining probe. So if the mining probe does not get affected by the 2x slot, nor does this bonus. That's unfortunate. So, medium class ships have a 2x multiplier for their slots. When we finish that last technology, one of the upgrades that it gave us was that all of our Behemoth modules became 2x slots. Now what's interesting about the 2x slots on a ship is that not all attributes of a particular module get multiplied by 2. So you have to pay very careful attention. For example, this module does not get multiplied at all. Neither did the mining probe, but we can see that this normal titanium module provides a loss of 10 when sieging, but when we put it in a 2x slot, it's 20. You can see that missiles do 61 damage per second and 90 salvo health. We put them in here and significantly higher on both fronts. I think we're just going to leave this thing designed the way it was. The flat 30 Fidzy on the 4 basic Fidzy types is probably good enough. This is a ship with a massive amount of health, and this is one of those where a repair module can be really effective, especially the higher tier repair modules. But for now, we're just going to leave this as is. I just wanted to check and see if those flat modifiers were going to get doubled or not, and it appears that they are not, so that's kind of unfortunate, but nothing we can do about it. I'm going to take the military behemoth out of the queue because I want to redesign it for 1, and for 2, we now have hawks and kestrels, which we should look at. The kestrel in particular is going to make a nice upgraded version of the big bada boom. We also have some new engines, and these provide a very small amount of ship evasion and a movement of 4. So they're pretty decent engines for military class ships. You'll actually get more movement out of this engine in most cases, but the evasion is not nothing, and so I like to use it whenever possible. It does cost Hyperion, but we have a pretty large stockpile of it, so I'm not too worried about it. And then for weapons, this is a defensive ship. It's going to absorb a lot of firepower. Many of the enemy ships are going to target it at a higher rate than they target other things. It kind of tanks for us in that way. And that comes from the protector role. So if you mouse over this tooltip, you'll see that most of the offensive ships will make this their primary target. Also, Guardian attracts fire from enemy to protect other ships, and bonuses to plating and shielding. So the very defensive ship. Not a lot of guns. The one pair of guns that we definitely want to put on here are almost always going to be flak cannons, and that is because this ship will attract the fire of missiles, and these guns can help shoot them down. So, and then I do generally like to go with lots of defenses, but if we look at this, we can see that these slots are very flexible, so we can go with just massive amounts of armor, or we can go with a mix of armor and support modules. There are 2 support modules that I like on these ships. One support module that I really like are the siege modules, and these siege modules are really good for helping to bring down the defenses of the enemy systems faster, so you can invade them with fewer losses. And then the other one is the additional manpower, and this just increases the number of manpower troops that we have and allows us to increase the deployment limit. So we can actually deploy more troops on a planet by using this module. than we otherwise would have. And you can design these in a lot of different ways. So you could go with a somewhat fragile ship that has massive amounts of orbital bombardment. You could go with a ship that just has a massive amount of troops and drop huge amounts of troops with increases to the quantity of troops we can drop. Or you could go with a mix. And so that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to go with a mix of defenses and some siege modules. Apply that design, then we'll look at the Crystal. Oh, well, not the Crystal, the Hawk. I'm not a big fan of the Hawk. The Hawk is a ship design that is very, very fragile. If we look at what it has 3 weapon slots instead of the 2 that our normal glides have. And then it has the same conundrum that you deal with the glides, in that you can only fit an engine and one other type of support or armor module. So in order to get armor on this, we have to have a very, very low movement speed. You know, if we wanted to go with defenses like that, this ship is going to be strictly for defense of a system. It's not going to be able to move anywhere, but it would be more defensive in this configuration with the 3 weapons. So this can make a pretty adequate defender in this configuration, but it's not going to be much in terms of attacking or moving anywhere. If you wanted to be able to do that, you got to throw an engine on it. And now we have a movement of 6, which is not great, but it's not trash. We can fit 3 weapons on here, and then we have 1 more slot, and we can either fit 1 defensive module or 1 support module. There are a few support modules that I really like. The bonus modules to damage can be really good in the right scenario, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe we make these a little bit different than some of our other ships. And we haven't talked about swarm missiles yet. So one of the things that can be really effective on these types of ships is to combine swarm missiles with regular torpedoes. Swarm missiles with regular torpedoes allow the torpedoes to get through flak defenses much more effectively, and can be pretty powerful. We could also go with a combination like this. So we've got bullets for defense and short range damage. We've got swarm missiles and torpedoes that will fire together and hopefully allow the torpedoes to get in and do massive damage. And then to top it off, because these are all kinetic weapons, we can enhance the damage of them significantly. And so we can see this has a pretty nice damage output for a ship of this type. And it's very different than the damage that our other ships are putting out. So it could be a good counter ship designed to something that's carrying a lot of shields, maybe. Okay, let's edit our Raptors and upgrade their engines. I don't think there's anything else that really needs upgraded on these. I do like the manpower, so they're fine as is. Peregrines need upgraded as well. And the only thing I think I really want to upgrade on the Peregrine would be the engine. They already have a faster movement speed than a lot of other ships. So if we put this engine on them, what this means is that they will be able to move fast, significantly faster, when they're on their own scouting. But when they're in a attack fleet, they won't slow the fleet down at all. They'll actually be faster than the fleet. So, and that'll still give us the ability to use probes. So I like that. Our big bada booms. Is there anything we want to do with these? Again, I believe they'll move further with these engines, so when they're by themselves, they'll actually get more movement out of this than they will out of that. So, yeah, we'll just leave these as they are. And then last but not least, let's take a look at our newest military behemoth. So these things have a lot of weapons on them. Because military behemoths are going to be moving around quite a bit, we definitely want to have some good engines on there. Let's see. As far as defenses go, we've got 3 slots. So we'll go with my normal 2 hull plating, 1 shield is how I like to run that. And then for weapons, we have 4 weapon slots. We definitely want to have some flak cannons. So we'll throw some flak cannons on there. That will help defend against missiles. And then we could go with a combination of swarm missiles and torpedoes, maybe? What if we go with something like this? And then, for the last touch, a kinetic modifier. And now you can see, and if we take that off, you can see how significant the damage output is. That's pretty beefy. Alright, so that ship will be really good for parking on choke points and enemy systems that we want to drop dramatically. And now, let's go ahead and get a military behemoth built. We have a limit to the number of these that we can build. Every 3 behemoth technologies will increase the number of behemoths you can have. So we've only collected 1 behemoth technology so far. But if we get 2 more, we can actually build another behemoth. And that will give us a total of 3. So we can get 1 more after this one is complete. That's going to be a little while because we got these other science things we need to get done. Okay, and then this fleet is pretty much ready. Not quite, actually. We wanted to do that first. But I think we can go ahead and send them up here. We'll start working on these pirates while I finish the rest of that fleet. Okay, over here, where are we at? We've got maybe 1 to 2 more turns that we need to do this. And my manpower is really low again because we built a bunch of ships. So we're going to have to be careful not to overbuild ships without recovering our manpower. Do we have any temperate worlds? We do have a temperate world here, so we should definitely get this built as well. Maybe after... Yeah, the Behemoth doesn't actually have manpower. So we won't have to worry about that, but this will give us a little more time. Let's take a look at this. What are we down to? 73? That's going to take some time. So retreating will cause us to lose some key if we do. The ship is at full health though, so I will go ahead and retreat this. Curious. Alright, where? Oh, I see. Can we... There we go. So if you hold down Control, instead of taking the fastest route, it will take the most direct route when you click on something. So I can actually travel from this node directly to here, and then we can retrofit and repair that ship from there. Alright, I can activate this to activate that again. And you can see we're spending a lot of key, but we're about to get a bunch of it back. Alright, their system is now at 0. Go ahead and fight that. And now it's time to invade. Okay. So we have several options here for this invasion. They have basically no troops, but they can, because they have population, sacrifice a population to increase their troop count. What we want to do is make sure that they basically... Yeah. So preemptive bombing is going to be the preferred method of attacking whenever your total troop count is smaller than your reserve. So you can see if I use guerrillas, I could deploy 675 manpower worth of forces, but we only have 510 manpower total. So we're actually missing part of our force, our full fighting force. With Blitz, you get even more troops, but there are some penalties associated with Blitz, including increased damage to your troops, essentially, reduction to health. But preemptive bombing tends to do the opposite. It reduces your overall deployment limit, but it's very close to our total, so we're going to go ahead and use the bombing. And what this does is it does a significant amount of damage at the very beginning of the fight. But since they don't have any troops, it doesn't really matter. We're going to win. So the system's been captured, and this is important. Whenever you capture a system with the Hissho, you have this special option to subdue. Now, this special option only is available if you leave your fleet in the system. If you happen to fly your fleet away while the invasion is continuing to carry on, once the invasion finishes, this option will not be available to you unless the fleet is there. And we have a couple of different options. We can subdue them and gain 10 key, a bunch of loot, and destroy some of their system. But they'll get some of their manpower back, and they will retain control of their system. That gives us 10 key. Occupying the system just gives us straight up 15, and raising the system to the ground will give us 5. Now, you can actually do a subdue, and then the next turn you can either occupy or raise. You may have to go through a small invasion again, depending on how big the system originally was. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get 10 key for this, and some resources. That's going to reset this to 100. But you can see we're guarding the system. So they'll start to take siege damage again shortly. And we can finish that quest, which I just did. 20% science on Empire for a few turns. That's good. And another 5 key. I like getting a free technology, so I'll do that. Our hero has leveled up. Let's go ahead and go ahead and take a second point in shield penetration. Now we'll begin blockading. Also, we got another ship. This was just a... Yeah, we'll just merge it into the fleet for now. We'll unmerge it when we want to move the fleet because it has a very slow movement speed. And we can send out some probes. Alright, let's take a look at our laws. Lower fleet cost. I don't know if that works on Behemoths. I guess it's kind of irrelevant. We can pop that in the queue as well. And then let's build 2 of these and 2 of those. Alright, so our objective has been achieved. We now have a nice little chunk of titanium, some more key for completing that quest. And that was because of the Behemoth. Alright, these guys healed off a lot of that damage. Let's move into close range this time and watch this fight. We should get a good idea of our of how well our defensive ships absorb the firepower from these guys. So we have 1 defensive ship here in the back. And most of the shots should be heading towards him. Although it doesn't look like that's the case, actually. Alright. Decisive victory this time. Having better ships helps quite a bit in those situations. Let's see if we want to stick around here. Our Peregrine is pretty damaged. I don't know how important that is. let's go ahead and let's run Turtle again. But this time, I want to make sure my Peregrine... Oh, well, that would be why. Yeah, let's move the hero over here, because the hero recovers a lot of damage. In fact... I can basically move everything over here but the hero, I think. Let's see how this works out. Yeah, the Peregrine's flak cannons were doing a lot of work there. That's fine. All of their ships are now gone. And we can start sieging this down. This is going to take a long time to siege down at this rate. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some bigger firepower. That'll help. Alright, so we now have 60 defense removal or 60 siege damage every turn. So in 2 turns we'll be able to invade this again without losing any troops. I forgot to attack that ship. We should do that real quick. He'll retreat again. And one more turn to do that. Okay, so we've have 3 planets with only Hissho major population, or maintain a religious law for 10 turns. Flotilla Shield capacity, or energy enhancer. This is going to be much more difficult to get, but it is the better reward. Flotilla Shield is nice because this provides shielding to every ship in your flotilla. You only have to have this on one ship. It has to be a coordinator class, which is a medium class ship. But it gives shielding to your whole fleet. This is going to be much easier to achieve as well. We won't be able to do it until the next election. We have kind of been leaning into the religious side of things, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, Pegasus is almost completely full. How close are we? Ah, good. So now... we're 4 turns away from getting ice worlds, which will unlock a fair amount of population. The other thing we could do... Nope, this system is already completely full. And there is not a lot of benefit of grabbing toxic or gas worlds just yet, so... $65. Not quite ready for that. Got 2 probes. I could send 1 there, and maybe 1 out that way. Alright. Also, I believe our Behemoth is done. Yes. Okay, so how many turns is it going to take to get our military Behemoth down here? It'd take 8 turns to get down to that pirate, 4 turns to get up there, 7 turns to get up there. Let's go ahead and send the military Behemoth this way. Be the first to have one of our heroes hit level 9. Okay. We could consider grabbing another fealty center, but I'm kind of wanting to build this up for the colony that we started, so I'm going to hold off on that. We have 271 manpower. This one's going to take 100, 200, 300, 400. We're getting 58 a turn. So we should have just enough manpower to finish these ships before we're basically at 0 again and need to build up. After that, we're going to have to run something else. Or maybe build this? Yeah. We're going to have to build these for now. Alright, we're at 0 over here again. We'll fight this ship off. And do our second invasion of the system. And we'll see the preemptive bombing go off at the beginning, which reduces their force by 20%. Alright, so that's kind of unfortunate. Because they drafted an army, we weren't able to wipe them out in a single turn. They conscripted, they sacrificed a population to build up their troops. We'll continue fighting, but I have enough money to do both of these upgrades. And I also have enough money to do both of these upgrades. If I go to the market first. That's not worth selling. Let's go back to here and upgrade both of those. And that might give us enough damage to finish them off next turn. Could send our Peregrine out. We've uncovered a couple of new curiosities, but I think we'll hold off. Decisive victory again. And you'll see we have the option to continue to subdue. But because the system has already been recently rated, the numbers are much lower. The rewards are almost not worth doing. But one thing you could do if you wanted to build a key farm is basically just keep subduing the system over and over again. We're actually going to raise their system to the ground. And this will take a couple of turns. You'll see this little clock here. They will be gone in 9 turns. Now, if they manage to get a colony ship on this system before the end of 9 turns, they can recover whatever structures and population are still left, but over time those will slowly decrease. I am going to go ahead and activate this for this fleet, because they do have quite a large fleet down here. And we're actually going to move this whole fleet over here and attack their pathetic fleet. Yeah, they're running all missiles, so this should be fine. In fact, Turtle might even be better. Alright, they're just going to retreat. We have curiosities we can uncover. Get some free loot. Dust. The Vault of Governance. Interesting. 50% XP on governors. Okay, they're wanting a truce. We're going to refuse. They're going to try to force us. More than likely. Alright, they don't have the influence to force a truce yet, so, and we have enough influence, I believe, to say no. Alright, so how many turns is it going to take? Another 4 turns to wipe out their defenses on this system. And then we move to the capital. Over here, we're down to 37. I think once we once we raise this one time, we'll use those points to bring us back down and colonize that system with our key. Over here, this fleet's pretty injured. We're just waiting for the reinforcements to come in and pick up the slack. So we've got 3 of the 4. I've got the Vault of Governance. We should definitely build that. And we've got the Intergalactic Technology Center, as well as the Endless Research Park. We could build both of these pretty quickly. Alright, launching those probes down the lane has revealed another pirate fleet has spawned. This pirate fleet has 500 power. Alright, these guys are just going to do that. We're not ready to invade here yet. This ship so we could put a colony pod in here. But we really don't want to be colonizing any more systems for a while. But I can repair this ship. And I have not hit any other constellations yet, huh? It looks like there's going to be one out here somewhere. And probably out here somewhere as well. See if we can hit anything out that way. I guess for the time being, we can disband this ship and just put it in the hangar. Okay, so this system can now get this done, which we should do like that. That should get deployed. We now have Optics Research Lab, which we should queue up. And over here, we have a couple of things we could do. The Optics Research Lab, probably not worth building here. At least not right now. I guess we could do that. Alright, so they're trying to force a treaty on us. We are going to refuse. Behemoth Overdrive unlocks Berserker Tactics. Okay, so now that our Behemoth is here, we have to decide what to do with it. I think the Behemoth is going to fight whatever these two ships are. And if I'm not mistaken, we have really good missiles on this ship. Alright, so now we're going to get our first look at just how big these Behemoths are. So these are the enemy ships. And here comes our Behemoth. can see, these things are just massive. Alright, so that takes care of that. This has been increased significantly, I believe. Does this actually tell us how much siege? Yeah, I don't see any statistic for siege here, so I'm trying to remember what that was before the Behemoth got there. Alright, over here we're at 80. We need 2 more turns to wipe them out. New objective. Level up a hero to at least level 9. Yeah, we didn't get to that one. She's got another skill point, though. I do like the idea of lower fleet costs, so we'll take that for now. Alright, one more turn and we'll do our invasion. And I do have some manpower, which means... I can go like this. That'll give us mostly tanks, but a little bit of infantry. Is there anything else I need to do this turn? We could probably abolish lower fleet cost law. We could go Spoils of War Act. This is mainly going to benefit us if we're fighting an enemy fleet. We could also go bonuses gained after a ground battle and after space battles. Yeah, let's go ahead and run this law. Not sure why they stopped blockading that system. Alright, we're ready to invade here. So they sent 2 science ships over there, but no colony ships yet. We'll just do the preemptive bombing. Should be fine. Decisive victory. Alright, so we have choices to make here. I could subdue them again. Get some more reward. and have to do this one more time, but I think we will. What is this thing? Some Academy. Hunter class ship. This is a medium class ship. Let's take a look at this. See if our Behemoth is strong enough to handle this. Definitely have more health than their ship. I think I forgot what ship I was using. I was thinking we had the military Behemoth. This ship doesn't have missiles. Yeah, we took a lot of damage there. They took more damage. That was a bit of a mistake. These guys will do much better this time. Yep. One set of torpedoes is all it took. Alright, that fleet needs to go somewhere else. In fact, I think we're going to send them down here to help out. I think we're going to need some backup. Okay, one thing that we do get is a benefit from running these populations on this planet. Both of these benefit from an anomaly, and this system has 2 anomalies, so get a little bit of extra FIDSI from that. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, looks like this guy's blockading our system. My brood ship cannot do anything. I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave these guys here, and I'm going to send my military Behemoth over this way. And he can deal with all the trash that's over here and protect that system in the future. It looks like they actually have their own economic Behemoth now. Alright, so we were attacked by pirates as soon as the economic Behemoth left. These are energy weapons, and my ships mostly have... Yeah, I'm not sure how well this is going to go. We'll see if the heroes effective as they could be. Missiles are really good against ships that do not have flak cannons. And we do have a nice little... Fortunately, it looks like they just took out my hero. Yeah, so he went down, but he doesn't die. This fleet is really hurting now. It looks like it's time to regroup. I'm going to have to send these guys back, unfortunately. It also means that we're going to need to build some more ships. We can move these down in the queue because I don't really need either of them at the moment. And we can go ahead and get lower fleet costs activated again. Alright, now is the perfect time to do that. Let's start with all of that getting done. No, don't forget to colonize that as well. Alright, where are we at for technologies here? We're working on the lava world technology. That needs to happen. And then we need to go back over here and grab medium class ships. Now we also have a few other things that are kind of cool. We could get weaponized behemoths, which just gives significantly more power to our military behemoth. There's also this technology which I really like. +4 vision range, +4 movement points, so behemoths can move a little bit more quickly, and that will give us the 3 behemoth technologies we need to get a extra behemoth unlocked. There is also this one, which gives us... Oh, interesting. Did they change this up? I remember in the past that this only gave a flat bonus, not a flat and a percent bonus. But it looks like here we're getting both. So that could be really good for our economic behemoth upgrade. These are the better mining probes. Yeah, so this is where the probes get way better. And these probably will outperform even the flat ones. Although with the flat percent bonuses, it'll be a little bit more complicated. But I do have a need to try this out. So I think what we're going to do is that. That's going to give us the 2 techs we need for another economic behemoth, and we're going to try running a probe economic behemoth and see with the advanced probes how much better they are than the really bad ones you start with. That active again. Oh, he's actually going to fight. Well, this will be very quick. Alright, one more turn and we'll do our second invasion and take this over. Also, I have a bunch of probes to launch. Gotta keep eyes on things. We got a free technology. Vacuum protection. Let's take a look at where was vacuum protection. Okay, so vacuum protection gave us some really good repair modules. Okay, so this one is incredibly powerful. Repair fleet after each battle, repair fleet after each phase. So this one's going to give you, what is it? 20% of your health back over the course of a fight. This can only be installed in coordinator class ships, unfortunately. Shield reloading each phase, that's another one that's pretty neat. We don't have adamantium or I forget the name of these. What is this? Adamantium and antimatter. We'll need to look for those once we get them unlocked. We're ready for the invasion here. This time, we're going to raise the system to the ground. And move right along to the capital. Definitely not pacifist political ideology. Alright, where is my fleet? This could be problematic. The pirates now have medium-class ships. This fleet will not be able to fight that, and they are blockading that system. So we might have to park here for a second. Again, sending out probes We would not have this information if I wasn't constantly launching these probes over here. But they have 2 medium-class ships in that system now. Alright, over here, it looks like, yeah, our military behemoth is over here. And for the time being, I actually don't need to protect this system, so we can head over here and sort of sit on this system and maybe lower the defenses of it before we go to war with these guys. That is a quest that we're trying to accomplish that we've had since the beginning of the game that I just sort of lost track of. So maybe getting rid of those pirates first would have been a better idea. Guess we'll find out in the end. Okay, and then the fact that they have a behemoth here. With strictly missile weapons. I'm not sure we're going to be able to take out the behemoth. We can try to scoot right through the system without invoking a fight and get over to Kran and they're probably not going to attack my ships. This is sort of irrelevant. Let's go ahead and grab that skill for now, I guess. Another pulso. Got some more ships. I don't even think with 8 ships we would be able to take out those medium class ships without severe losses, but it might be worth a shot. Let's go ahead and get their leech out of here. We can declare war on these guys.
I shall defend the faith. I shall...
Let's merge these fleets together. And let's get some cash from Marketplace. Well, these aren't worth much. What about some of our strategics? Repair those ships. I don't think there's any upgrades that we've unlocked that make a lot of sense. So now this fleet is actually somewhat formidable and we have more siege power. Let's go take care of these pirates with this fleet. That should be good enough. And maybe these guys are just kind of on their own until I have medium-class ships, it looks like. We might be turning this fleet around. There's a good chance that if those pirates have medium-class ships, these pirates will as well. This might not be enough to handle that either. Alright, we needed to run a religious law, so we're going to switch back to the religious party again. I believe it was just one religious law. Let's go with this. Ah, we got another hero. Okay, let's grab another militarist hero. And let's assign him... Yeah, let's assign him these bonuses. And go ahead and make him a governor of the system. That other pulso over there that I saw we had a while back. We can keep running these. Slingshot. We'll reduce the movement. Alright. I think I want to send these guys up here to help with that. They're going to have way more success with that. This guy should be able to handle these. This is my military behemoth with missiles, so long-range tactics are going to work best. Go. That takes care of their fleet. And they're getting minus 20 a turn from the military behemoth. Looks like there's another one of those fist ships over here. Alright, what do we have? A raptor. Guess I had two of those queued, so I'll finish building them, but we're about to finish that technology. I'm gonna have to delay these. I mean, they could still be in the queue, but we really need to get at least one of the two medium-class ship designs, and probably both. And then we can get these. Gonna stop this fleet here for a second, and we're gonna send a probe down that way. Nice. Friendly locals. Interesting. Haven't seen that one before. Let's get these raptors out and over here. That is not my raptors. That really sucks. That's gonna take 13 turns. Are you kidding me? What a waste. Alright, well, we'll give it a little bit more movement, and that'll take fewer turns. Boosting its movement is one way to get it around a little bit quicker. We'll try to get all these fleets gathered up. Calgaroos. Alright, so this system should have no problem getting dropped. We could go ahead and invade now. I'm getting a little impatient, so we're just going to go ahead and invade. We'll take some losses, but it'll happen a little bit quicker. We don't have to wait so long. Alright, so now I have enough to pop this again, which we should do soon. Two Calgaroos, huh? Well, we now have AI labor, which should be added to the queues of most of our systems. Sacrificing a population is one way to deal with the overpopulation we're about to experience. So at this point in the game, once you get these systems filled up, running the sacrifice laws or sacrifice mechanics can boost your economy at a very minimal cost. We also have this planet, which needs to be set up, and I guess since we do have a governor, I want to get that done quickly, so. Alright. We've got a lot of ships over here now. The Tikanan have produced another medium-class ship. They're not going to be able to compete with our military behemoth, though. So we can fight these guys. And we'll go power to shields, and yeah, this will be another fight that we win pretty handily. Our behemoth is damaged a little bit this time, but I'm not too worried. Actually, I am a little worried because we're not killing anything. Yeah, that was a little bit closer than I was anticipating. We spent a lot of time in the beginning firing all the missiles at the big ship and not destroying these little ones, which were actually doing some damage to us with their missiles. That's unfortunate. Definitely not going to fight this thing at this point. We're just going to sit here for a little while and continue to deplete their system. Alright. So this will be blockaded again. Again. Decisive victory. Raise their system to the ground. Alright, that system's gone in one turn. Militarist. New skill. Fleet cost reduction. Alright, so this system is slowly but surely getting online. There in 2 turns. How many turns till this fleet gets here? 4? I think that's too many turns to wait. Let's go ahead. Why can I not click on this? There we go. Let's get this fleet beefed up and get him into the fight. And then we'll just get these guys to join them as quickly as possible. Canis. Canis has no influence production. It does have science production. Alright, more skills for him. Get that. He'll be gaining XP faster now, which is nice. Our Behemoth is not going to be attacking anything for a while. In fact, we may want to move this back to our territory where we can repair a little bit every turn. Coming up on 2 hours now. Oh, I didn't want to fight the Behemoth first. Alright, so their Behemoth has missiles, so we want to get as many of our ships in close range as possible. I want to go to the advanced menu. And we're going to put the worthless ships over there. I want all of my raptors over here in this lane, I think. Let me think about this for a second. The raptors have energy weapons. So position your ships to optimize their range. Why is it? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't think that's correct either. So we'll put him in the center. Okay, so he's got, yeah, medium range is going to be his best range. I see, I see. I'm going to deviate from what they think. I'm going to put a lot of these guys in medium range. Alright. Yeah, let's try this. He's gonna blow that thing up real fast, but maybe something like that. Alright, let's give this a go. Curious to see how well we do. I think we're going to mostly get slaughtered. Actually doing quite well. Alright, well that was worth the time and effort. Now he's just got a regular fleet of 8. I can't attack it just yet. Oh, we just got another ship. $10,000 dust to repair that. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Alright, so there are no enemy fleets over here at the moment, but they do have 750 defensive troops, so we're going to have to take some time to burn this down. Quickly grabbing another big bada boom would help with that quite a bit. Alright, I think we're going to try and finish these guys off. We're already at 2 hours, but I would really like to finish this Lumeris faction out. Alright, let's see if we can stop them. So, let's go to the advanced screen again and figure out what they have. So they're running missiles. All of these Brig 7s are missile craft. Their hero has a mix of energy weapons and projectile weapons. Hard to say exactly what he's running. Looks like it's probably missiles and beams or something like that. Okay. So, Turtle is definitely going to be the appropriate strategy once again, and because their fleet is small, we can put the majority of our fleet over here in this third lane, and they may not get to attack it very much. So a lot of these ships should be safe from the encounter. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships. Let's see how this works. Okay, they're going to retreat. That is interesting. So now their capital system is wide open for us to eliminate. They only have 200 defenses. But they can draft quite a bit, so I want to remove their defenses before we attack and pretty much guarantee that even if they draft, we get a victory. And that way, we can keep most of their system intact and take it over as our capital. Alright, we should have a big bada boom over here now. That will be able to help with that. These guys should be able to get rid of that. see. Get a little bit more of the unknown territories unmarked. Alright, our Behemoth is back in business. We will go ahead and put that in defense mode. And finish off these Lumeris. Alright, so they finally got a fleet out to attack us. We're gonna run Turtle again. Alright, so this was rather unpredictable. One of the things I noticed in that fight is my flanking fleet was able to fire on the fleet opposite it, and using its forward guns, the fleet in the center lane. So we were actually getting a lot of value out of the guns pointing in the right directions for that, which is very interesting. I'm gonna have to rethink some of this. It's been very difficult for me to figure out exactly how these flotillas work. One of the things that I've had happen in the past is you have the perfect weapons to counter your opponent, but they don't point in the right direction. And so deciding which guns point to the broadside of your ship and which guns point forward has been a difficult choice for me. But that fight right there demonstrated something interesting. I'll have to think about that. I may go back and rewatch that.
We are Riftborn. We come into your cosmos of...
Ooh. Interesting. Wormholes. Okay. Well, let's
Some things in this cosmos we have come to understand. You're not...
let's ask them to get their fleets out of here.
What is your...
I'm not ready to deal with them yet. Ah, but that does mean... Yes, yes, yes. Whoa, where are you going? Oh, I see. Never mind. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we're about to take out the Lumeris and take their capital. We got them down to 138. We need to get them down a little bit lower than that before I'm going to feel comfortable attacking them. Alright, and we now have our first of 2 medium-class ship designs. We should spend this on our home system and take a look at our new ship. The Kite. I really like this ship. You can do a lot with it. Okay, let's start with an engine. And let's see, let's go with hull plating and shields. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weapon slots. So this guy can really put out some firepower. We do have 5 weapon slots or 4 weapon slots and a enhancer. So we'll have to see which one of those I prefer. But I think we're going to go with something like that. So let's say we go 1 set of guns. Two sets of missiles. And an enhancer. Or do we go... Not it. Yeah, the enhancer definitely increases the damage more than another set of swarm missiles. What about that? So another set of torpedoes or... Interesting. Yeah, I like this design. Let's go with that. We're doing a lot of missiles this time around. I've done different things at different times, but I think the missiles will work. And... let's get me... couple of these nice big ships. How's this guy doing? He's getting repaired little by little. Now it's only going to cost us 9,300 to repair him. This is dropping slowly. That's going to take a while. The big bada boom will help, as will this fleet. Both of those will get there very shortly. I'm not going to attack anything yet, so... this might be the turn we take out the Lumeris. Alright, they brought their Behemoth back somehow. This one's a scientific Behemoth. That's going to make it difficult because What did they go for weapons this time? They went missiles again, so we're going to do the same kind of thing we did last time. It looks like it actually left my design. This should work about as well as the last one. This does not appear to be working as well. Maybe it didn't leave my design the way I had it. It's still working. Similar result. Alright, is this the turn or do we go one more? Tempted to go one more just to get it almost to 0. Alright. 10% health on fleet. I'll take that. Now this is going down 90 a turn, so significantly faster, and then when these ships get there, that'll be even quicker. Oh. What is this? The Lumaris managed to escape. Wow. We're still going to get their capital. But we're not going to wipe them out. We now have this nice Flotilla Shield, which I think we'll utilize shortly. But this is the turn we're going to invade. And we're going to go ahead and blitz. We're going to bring our whole force with all of our might. Decisive victory even with the draft. And this time we're going to occupy their system. And so now this is our system. Let's see, what do we need to build here? All kinds of good stuff. Oh my. Okay, well, let's start with the basics. That needs to get built. That needs to get built. That needs to get built. A lot of luxury resources. We have a couple of anomalies, so that's a worthwhile building. Alright, we'll throw those all in there and then get that done. They have a lot of different types of yeah, interesting. Alright, so now we can see we're at 4 of 3, so all of our systems are going to be receiving a penalty. But it's pretty small at the moment. can merge those together, and that's going to be 118 depleted per turn, so get rid of that. Oh, there was no need for this. Alright, so those pirates will be gone shortly. This fleet can be repaired for 2,000 dust, which we are now making. We're now 400 positive dust. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of a couple of these ships that are not really our ships. They're sort of slowing down the fleet. They were useful while we had them. Okay, now I should be able to repair all of these, yeah. This fleet is now ready for fighting. This system is building a lot of good stuff, but what I really need is like a kite. And that's 9 turns. So we're gonna have to wait on that. I've got to decide what I'm doing with this fleet at some point here. There was also, I can't remember if it's a law. Or is it this? I thought there was an ability that made you gain control of systems faster if you had ships in the area. But it's none of these. I'm trying to remember where that came from in my mind. But I think this is actually not a bad place to consider ending the video for tonight. We're on turn 70, we're over 2 hours in, and we conquered the Lumeris' home system, although we were unable to wipe them out because they retreated to this area over here. But we will be able to finish them off if we really want to. I kind of want to change my focus over here to these guys who have been harassing me a little bit, and we have a nice sized fleet ready to do that. I also have 2 kites being built to come down here and take care of this, so we should be able to get that done here shortly, but we're not going to do that tonight, unfortunately. So I think this is going to be the end of this particular video. There may be time for one more of these before I go on my trip, and then I'll be gone for quite a while, and when I come back I'm probably not going to want to come back to this particular playthrough, so I want to get as far as I can and really demonstrate some of the things that I've learned with these guys. But as you can see, we're doing pretty good right now. We went from a pretty low score to one of the middle scores again. So we're still not a powerhouse in the game, at least by the game score metric. But we're definitely a lot stronger than we were. And we can see that the Lumeris are down at about 300. And they are pretty weak compared to us. So we know we can basically wipe anybody out that is in that range, and I would imagine we could probably compete with some of the stronger factions that are currently listed. I definitely don't want to mess with the Riftborn right away until we have a little more intel on how strong they are, but we can see the edge of one of their systems here, and we know that there's some wormholes that we can get to. I do have a ship heading that way to scout that area, so that'll be good when it gets there. But until next time, this has been The Nose Plays. I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and you guys have a wonderful day.